It's another day that the Lord has made, and today I just want to talk about the life of this young maiden in Naaman's house. This is a young girl who was taken captive by Naaman, and she was brought into Naaman's house as a maid, and she came from Israel. We know that is her background, and the best thing about her background is that she came from a background that knows the Lord. And here she is in another family being used as a servant. And I believe that in that situation, I don't think she had that good environment to uh, to be comfortable with. And even though she was here by force, she was forced into this family as a maid. She was still ready to be used by God to save Naaman. I know preachers have talked about Naaman. Preachers have talked about the miracles that happened to Naaman, and preachers have talked about the prophet that that Naaman went to. But a little is talked about this lady. She's a young girl. That is what the Bible says, possibly naive, but her commitment, as we see, was not to Naaman or to Naaman's wife. Her commitment was to God. And even though she was brought in as a captive, even though possibly, if her parents were not taken captive, possibly they were killed by the army, possibly her father and the people who were around, who were close to her, were killed. She never revenged. She never took that as an advantage to revenge, even to Naaman and the family. She committed her life to Christ. She committed her life to God, and she followed God's instruction, and that she was there as a representative of God. And that is how she saved the life of Naaman, who had leprosy. How many times have you tried to justify the situation that you are in as a license to do something that is wrong? Just think about the number of times maybe you've done things to the people who hurt you and try to justify it. Can you imagine the situation that this lady was? She had all the reasons to even kill Naaman and the whole family, because as a maid, maybe she had opportunity to prepare food for them. She had opportunity to do things in that family. She had opportunity even to blow the whole house. But she said that her commitment was to God. And that is why she directed Naaman to the prophet. She directed Naaman to God, because she knew that the only person she was committed to was God. The only person she was committed to was God and not Naaman. She knew that even though she was in Naaman's house as a captive, as a servant, she could not forget about his God. And this means that he was in this house as a representative of not only Israel, but also a representative of God of Israel. And this made Naaman got healed, and this changed Naaman's attitude towards her and her family. And this changed also Naaman's way of worship, possibly, because she brought God to Naaman's house. It is high time that we think about the situations that we are as situations that God allows for us to show his greatness, to show his power, to show what he can do, and to testify of God's greatness. This lady testified of God's greatness. She shared with Naaman about their God, the Israelites' God, and this made Naaman well. It is time that we don't use our situation to justify our action, but rather use our situation to glorify God. Know our commitment. Our commitment is to God. Our commitment is not to any other authority, not to any other person, but to God. It is time that we be representatives of our great King in whatever situation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the situation. What matters is our commitment to God. And God can use us even in the house of Naaman. It is my prayer that God may help us and God may use you wherever you are to be his representative wherever you are. God bless you and have a blessed time even as you subscribe to my channel. God bless you.